and have not kept the commandments,
Oh man.
nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses. It says, remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commandest thy servant Moses,
Man.
saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations.
See, here we are, scattered among these other people, man. Why the hell? Like, first and foremost, why did the North sail over here? To keep the law. They eventually failed, and he came. We failed. We didn't keep it. We was cast out the land 70 AD. We went into Europe and West Africa, different parts, and we was doing okay, but we didn't keep it perfectly. We needed a savior. And then we fell away completely as a nation. We didn't even know who we were. A no people. And there's only one people.
That's right. That's why the Lord said, go into all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
yeah.
Because Israel among all nations.
Because it said that the word is very nigh unto thee, even in thy heart, in thy mouth. And there it is.
And it even shows you through history the different characteristics on those particular tribes, like how the brother was speaking about how the Southern Kingdom went into like Europe and Africa. We have places called Negro Land and in Judah, like where when you go into the archaeology, we actually had like temples and buildings and pyramids that went back to ancient Egypt, man, because we had the knowledge on how to do that. Like you have scholars and everybody wondering like how these Northern Kingdom people were able to build all these pyramids in South America. It's because they were there, man. They already had the knowledge of how to do that when we was in captivity, you know. Not to mention that, as the brother said, they were wearing fringes with border of blue.
Yeah, it is.
You know, they were speaking broken Hebrew. You know, like these are key indicators on who the people really are.
Hey,
They had traces of our customs.
Yeah,
that's right.
Traces of our
They
heritage.
had the Ten Commandments written so in the Hebrew, and then in the Hebrew, right? And then in the different relics, whether it be Southern Kingdom or Northern Kingdom, they had relics of our past.
Yeah.
They had relics of Moses, you know. But we just some nobody people.
Even their languages, though it differed from the Paleo Hebrew.
dialect.
Some of the characters were still the same.
Like the brother Mwachazak was going into this, the Chumash tribe from northern Cali. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, a lot of their dialect, even when you go into Chumash, it's a form of Paleo Hebrew. It's a
Hebrew.
broken form of Hebrew.
Yeah.
Goes into the character.
That's the spirit, bro. That's the spirit.
See, to the brother, the Judah point, they was using both scripts. They were using Paleo and the Assyrian when he was writing stuff.
Yeah. Hey, that's it. Traces. It goes to show you, that's it.
Right.
Was that it?
Oh, Shemaiah.
Oh, man, you got there's something in Baruch to back up his point that he's reading right now. So going into they shall remember themselves. Go ahead.
It says, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations.
Man.
But if ye turn unto me and keep my commandments and do them,
Hey.
though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of the heaven, yet will I gather them from thence.
From thence. The Lord said he was going to gather us from thence. And then it tells you in Baruch that they're gathered from east to west by the word of the Holy One, man.
And who's doing that in this day and age? The elect, or the hopeful elect, I should say. That small remnant.
Oh, and then vocab is bugging out saying that we under Pastor Hart. But that's in our culture, right? Hey, you know, it served great men with ease. It tells you
Following
that.
him who follow the Mashiach.
Hey, Paul said that. Follow me, even as I follow.
And it's better than following vocab, because vocab
Right.
is fucking heathen.
Hey, you're a heathen. We ain't supposed to bow down to you, heathen. But we're supposed to be under our own.
And I forgot the precept, but didn't it say that to respect the one with the hoary head?
That's right.
Right, yeah. I mean, those are our elders, man.
We're following the old path, huh?
They're watching for our souls because they're leading by example. They're not telling us to do nothing that they themselves wouldn't do.
That's
And
right.
the proof of that is them going out on the highways and hedges, even in their old age. Look at these other elders in these different Israelite camps. They don't even go out, man.
You know what the biggest point of that is?
right.
Is the fact that they don't take any fucking credit or glory. They all deflect it to the Heavenly Father. More than any of these camp leaders.
Very true.
Fucking Johanna, fucking this nigga Snaten. You know, you know what I'm
Talk
saying?
about snakes.
Snaking.
And look how humble they are, dude. Because you know the
That's what I mean.
Apostle Gabar, for an example, he shows his face in the videos all the time. Do you see him in some fancy shit big ass gold chain. No, a lot of the times he got on a plain white T-shirt. You could tell he just out at the park. You could tell he's sincere and really about feeding the sheep.
That's right.
Bro, he asks us all the time. Every time is a live going on, I happen to catch it. Get on it. He always say, "Hey, brothers, are you edified?" I just
let me know.
Let me
on
know.
the coming
So,
board.
and because he's feeding the sheep, and we learn to feed the sheep through our elders, our apostles. So, and we're the only ones saying elders and apostles.
Right.
That's Israel.
And that's the proof that we've entered into other men's labors. Because we're following the same example that was set before us. And they're following the example that was set before them.
That's right.
You know?
That's it. That's it, man. Go ahead.
It says, "Yet will I gather them from thence, and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there."
Woo, Israel. Yahshua Allah. He, Prince of the power, man. And you can't take that away from us, vocab, you clown. That was given unto us of the Father, man. To our forefather who fought for it. Had to fight. Yeah, had to fight for it, man. Unlike your forefather, vocab, he just gave it up for a morsel of meat. You know?
Deuteronomy 30.
Yeah.
You want the Baruch?
Deuteronomy 30 and the Baruch is going to match up.
This is Deuteronomy 30 and 1. It reads, "It shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse."
Woo, there it is. It has only come upon us as a people. We had the blessing in the sense that we had the land. And then they say Jeshurun waxed fat, kicked, and then we got out of there. First the north, then the south went. And we're out of the land. We ain't there. Then the curse, over time, different curses hit us in different ways. But in this captivity, oh man, they came fucking full scale. It just fucking piled on us and shit.
And if I'm not mistaken, the same Assyrians that took over the northern kingdom, they became known as the Babylonians, and those same people took over the southern kingdom.
Yep.
And this devil came in the spirit of the Assyrians,
And-
took the southern kingdom and the northern
And the
kingdom.
north, yeah.
And he took the north first, just like he did.
Just like he did the first time.
And he
Yeah.
took the south.
And that's the secret ingredient.
Well, it would make sense strategically.
The playbook.
Because the north had the
Warrior
tribe.
tribes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the brother quoted that scripture Yahweh said earlier to bind the strong man.
And then you can take his goods.
When you go into, because Parathan used to bring it out all the time, King Oshea took out Gad, Reuben, and half of Manasseh first, because they actually fought.
Hey, those
against
are the Navy SEALs of Israel.
Yeah, and once they took them out, then they just easily took
And
them out.
they easily took the rest of the tribes. You know, that's it.
Them tribes was on the front line, bro. They was crazy.
Yeah, bro. Go ahead, huh?
Verse, going back to Deuteronomy 30 and 1, it says, "It shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind."
Called him to mind because he was like, because you know, looking like for your past, like not knowing where you come from, that fucks you up.
Hey, you said it perfectly in the beginning that coming into this truth, we found the meaning of life.
Yeah.
You know, the answer to these questions that we grow up wondering about, man. Our true purpose.
Right.
The Lord opened it up to us. Our history, why these things happen to us, you know?
Bro, and then you just be hearing Jake down the street just walking, "Hey, peace to the gods, king." Like, he's like, to the gods, hold on, kings. And then you go into the scriptures, you're a nation of kings and priests. Then it says, you are gods, but you shall die like men. And you go into that we're known as the sons of God. We fail, Nephilim, the fallen ones. Like damn, how do we get from there to here? So is it the blessing and the curse like
What
this?
a story.
Yeah.
Hold on. You don't get this work. Yeah.
Continuing on, it says, "And thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim that power, hath driven thee."
Yeah, because Jake is like, what the fuck? Like, I can't have my children. Like, why this woman bugging out? Like, damn, you like, what the fuck?
But a deeper aspect is, in this day and age, who's doing that? These so-called
There you go,
Jews
bro.
aren't doing that. It's the tribes,
Yes,
man. We're
yes.
bethinking ourselves in the land of captivity. Everybody knows we were in captivity here in America.
Bro.
Now you got the hopeful men of the elect standing up and calling these things back into remembrance.
It's a good point. We're the most recent people that were enslaved as a people.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck, just a few fucking decades ago and shit.
Right.
Getting hung up on damn trees.
I mean, that was our grandparents' generation, basically, right?
Yeah.
When you think about it, you know.
Our
Because
fucking
there's people alive today
ancestors
that lived through that stuff, man.
go back to a damn plantation in St. Louis, man.
Hey,
You can go visit a plantation resort. They got little resorts and shit. You can go check one out. They're nice.
Yeah, when I went and visited New Orleans, they still have a lot of the plantations. They use them as tourist spots now.
Yep.
But they have like the plantations and the land and everything, the sycamore trees and all that shit that we were hanging on.
Hey, it was fat, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, and then why did they keep Geronimo's fucking bones and shit and Nat Turner's fucking bones and shit? The two of the kingdoms, the North and the South. Why? It don't make no sense. It was just some regular monkeys swinging around.
Right.
Why are you keeping our bones?
Because this nigga has done a diligent search.
There it is,
And he's tested the DNA of the bones and the remains of the Israelites over in that land, and the DNA of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Fucking Glenn Beck brought it out, man. That's the finite knowledge that these scholars have gone into. That's how deep it goes. They've tested the jakes you see up here. Their blood and their DNA goes back to the remains that they found of the true Israelites in that land.
Israelites,
That's
bro.
why they want our organs.
There you go.
That organ harvesting,
It's
they
a
don't
power
deal
source.
with Edomites. When the
Yeah.
Edomite died, he was just dead.
Yeah.
When Jake died, they take the goodies.
And you know what's crazy about
$1
blood?
million industry.
You know what's crazy about blood? Even these devils know there's different blood types. But majority of Israel,
Same blood.
if not all Israel, they have universal blood that you can use. Like if you needed a transplant,
Right.
bro, I need your same blood type in order to do the transfusion.
That's why
Go ahead.
Esau he be taking blood from the end-dove. He take her eggs when she menstruates, because he can get a lot of what you call it, stem cells from it.
That's why he
placenta,
draws her
the
blood. That's
eggs
crazy.
and shit. That's why you got these dumbass bitches aborting their babies, and then they take the umbilical cord. You know, a lot of shit that you're supposed to get when you have a kid, you don't get. Because Esau keep it, especially, you know, if you the tribes and shit, man.
You see how he going for our women? And now, old King Pharaoh did the same. He like, if it's a male, kill him. If it's a female, keep it alive. So it goes to show you we're in Egypt again. And then it happened during the time of the Romans when they were looking for Yahushua. So with Herod,
Who was the Edomite?
It was the Edomite, like the father said. It was the
Edomite looking with our color.
Yeah, Obama, Obama back then.
Weird on this shit.
Culprit.
Barry and shit. You know that?
Verse 2. Deuteronomy 30 and 2. And it reads, and it shall return unto the Lord thy power, and shall obey his voice.
Hey, how do you obey the voice of the Lord? Through his men. And his men is going to tell you what you need out that key to open the door. The name. Yahweh by Shemal Shah.
Believe prophets, so shall you prosper.
Woo! And then it said that they're going to be vindicated. That they're going to be found faithful. That have been in thy name. There it is. Go ahead.
Verse 2 it says, and it shall return unto the Lord Yahweh by Shemal Shah thy power,
Only the elect.
and shall obey his voice according to all that I commanded thee this day.
Woo! Going into the men of the Lord, the prophets, the mouthpiece of Yahweh by Shemal Shah. They're going to obey the voice. Like, damn, this is why we here. Shit, we messed up. The only way back to the Father is through who? Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
Continuing on in 2 it says, and thy children with all thy heart, with all thy soul, then the Lord Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and to have compassion upon thee.
See, the Lord is going to turn our captivity, which means to take us out of slavery, man. Go ahead, all right?
And will return gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy power hath scattered thee.
Now, this is before it even happened. Moses is talking about this through the Lord. Like, okay, once you return unto me, hear my voice, I'm gonna take you from all the lands,
And why is that hard to understand? All through the scriptures, it tells us that one of the curses of breaking the laws, we would be scattered. So if you take that from happening all the way back then and apply it to 2022, using critical thinking, we're going to come back in these last days looking like other nations and speaking their languages, man.
That's right.
Why is that hard to understand?
Bro, it makes sense. That's why you got the Negro question part 1, the Negro question part 2. They say Africans and early Asia, but really it's Israelites. And that's the spirit, huh? And how did Judah and the southern tribes make it to these different lands? Through wars, through migration, and through slavery ultimately. But we was already in these different places because of what happened. The Northern Kingdom too had already made it to these different parts of the earth. And then they left their seeds among these other nations. Like the brother said, we come out looking different, but you still Israel.
It's all about the seed of the father. I forgot who it was, what brother had told me, but the perfect example we like to use is Blake Griffin, whose father is a Levite. He married a white woman. Blake Griffin came out looking light-skinned with red hair. Blake Griffin married...
the name is Cornelius.
Oh, Cornelius! God, bro. So Blake Griffin, he marries a white woman. His son comes out with blonde hair and blue eyes. But you had a Hebrew Israelite out there saying that Blake Griffin's father and Blake Griffin are Israelites, but his son is not an Israelite. That's fucking confusion, man. That's 3 generations that show you through the seed of the father, they're the same line, man. So they're not studious. Huh?
They're not studious.
Brothers threw up on the group me a few years ago, a family in England who looks as white as you can fucking imagine. As Edomite as you can imagine, but their father was a so-called Judite, huh?
Negro.
Yeah, it was Negro, but they were completely washed out with the eyes and everything.
Right.
That was
blue eyes and all that.
That was the power of the Lord.
Yeah, but even though it was a Judite son, that Judite son married or procreated with an Edomite, and then that son procreated with another Edomite.
It's the same way.
Eight times down the generation. But what is he? What is that son?
He's an Israelite.
Goes back to the seed of the father. That's why I like bringing up the Blake Griffin, because you look at his Blake Griffin, his father and the son. They're 3 different shades, but they're all the same people, man.
Now, what if the son gets with a white woman?
They're gonna have a son that looks like Macaulay Culkin, but he's still gonna be a fucking Levite, man.
That's right. That's right.
So you follow that same progression for 100 years, 200 years. Like, what are you gonna get, man? You're gonna get somebody that looks like a heathen, speaks like a heathen, but the spirit within them bears witness that they're an Israelite, man.
That's why it says it talks about the seed.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's about what's flowing in you. And then furthermore, it goes into the spirit.
Yeah,
the spirit bears witness.
It's like the congregation in the Philippines.
Bro, I'm glad you just said that.
It's genetic though, as well though.
His name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. Got the spirit, bro. You can't lie about that.
Got a whole church in the Philippines praising Yahweh Shai, and you gonna sit here and tell me that those are heathens because of the way they look, or the country that they're from?
Hey, the brother Ibaji put up a clip from TikTok, and it said the voice threw me off. It looked straight like an Asian woman. Sound like the damn
that was a nigga woman, man. What you talking about? What I do? Oh, shit, that's the black woman, man.
Oh, man. If you just heard the voice, oh, yeah, that's the black one. But you see, like,
He said, I can't believe what you did. What I do?